welcome to the TCAT 10-minute take. It is I, your host, Sheree L. Stewart, and with me, as always, is my intrepid co-host, Don the Legend Chambers. And today we are talking about the revamped, who asked for it? I don't know, Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
But before we get started, make sure to click that subscribe button and click that bell to get all the 10-minute takes as soon as they drop. And I have the timer reset. And always, Don will go first. Go. Air your grievances.
Yo, Mortal Kombat. Yes, let's start with that eternal question that you brought up. Who asked for it? I didn't. I don't know any of my friends that did. I don't know anybody that I casually come across that would walk up to me and says, hey, you know what they should do? They should make another Mortal Kombat movie. Because we know the one from, 1995 is just terrible. But in a sense, I kind of like it because the cheese on it is so, it's so obvious and it's just so there that it screams 90s terrible movie. But no, they're like, we're going to do another one. So I'm like, okay. I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe they're going to give it a kind of a hardcore, realist sort of a vibe, how they've been doing with comic books, grounding it in some sort of reality that might make it make some sort of sense, maybe ease up on the weird mysticism part of it and sort of bring some truth to it in some way, shape, or form. But I'm like, I'm going to give it a chance and see what happens. What did I get? Nonsense. I got utter nonsense. Right from the beginning. Utter nonsense. First fight scene with who would become Sub-Zero, and I can't remember his name, but he is in that. I've seen him in some great films. One of them was the Raid. God, I can't remember his name. He's in some good action films, like some real action, Asian action films. I'm gonna look up that actor and find that for him. But from the first fight scene, I'm like, okay, well, tell me, how does this man all of a sudden able to project cold? Like, are we just supposed to take it that he's just Sub-Zero from the beginning?
Are you talking about Hiroyuki Sanada, the guy who played
Sub-Zero?
Scorpion?
No, Sub-Zero.
Oh, Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero. And so I'm like, okay, and then we go from the first fight scene to the modern day, and immediately we're thrown into the trope of, hey, you're the hero you don't even know, and we need you for this battle. And he's like, I'm no hero. I'm just nobody. But I'll do anything to save my family. And then he gets whisked off, only to like, I can't find what my superpower is. I guess I'll go back home, until when his family gets threatened and he finds his super beingness and they come back to save the day. But in that meantime, we've got this Jax who's who I swear got short shifted on airtime, like for almost a good quarter of the movie. He's just useless, gone. Sonya Blade, who, where did she come from? And wasn't even vital until somehow at the very end. And then the Kano dude, who I'm like, where is he from? And who is this guy who is the stereotypical just an ass for being an ass's sake? And then we've got Liu Kang and then Kung Lao, who were just, honestly, if they weren't even in the movie, it didn't even matter. I mean, Kung Lao got himself killed, and then the bad guy who had... listen, look, I watched this film, and I said, what does any of this mean? Like, this is... You could have just redone the 1995 movie, given me all that good 90s cheese and terribleness, and I would have laughed and had way more fun than this movie that in tone tried to take itself seriously, but in writing was the dumbest thing ever. Because hey, they're just gonna mouth and tell me, Earthworld and realm and the other realm, sorry, Earthrealm and the other realm have had 9 fights before and we've lost all 9. We better win this one. I'm like, oh, okay, so we're just going into it like that. Like, I don't know why this even started. What's really even the point? And then if we lose, the other realm only seems to be like these 4 dudes. So these 4 dudes are just going to take over the world. Is that it? Listen, I watched it. The fight scenes were uninspired. They were boring, not exciting. The story was just as dumb as the 1995. It didn't do anything interesting. The main guy was just as pouty, boring. I don't even understand the point of like his girlfriend and his kid. I don't even think that was his wife. I'm like, why are they even here? They don't do anything. It's just dumb. Just dumb. I would not pay to see this. I probably don't even know why I even wasted my bandwidth watching this on HBO Max. There were parts where I was just literally on my phone as this thing was going and just sort of checking and like, oh, this is still okay. Oh, all right. Something gonna happen? Oh, no, nothing interesting. Okay, all right. Watching this boring fight, I'll go back to Instagram. Bored out of my mind. Bored.
All right, that's enough.
Listen,
you've gone over your time.
Just.
I don't think you're crazy. I thought this movie was totally fun. It was fine. You guys, it's fine. Don is crazy, and you're old as showing.
Maybe so.
Kano is one of the first of all, Kano's one of the original Mortal Kombat characters, and that actor was perfectly cast. It is cheesy and it is dumb, but it's it's rated R, which the other Mortal Kombat movies were not, and so the kills were legit. The special because they swore like
they did
exploded that guy's head, and Kung Lao cut that chick in half.
That's true.
Like, the fatalities were unbelievable. The special effects were really decent.
Wait, you can't tell me
they were able to pull that off.
Wait, you can't tell me when Kung Lao goes flawless victor. Like, come on now.
It was the right amount of cheese for what, I don't know what you're expecting from a video game movie. Donald Chambers, Othello, it's not. But, like,
true.
It was totally serviceable. There were some things that were, I wouldn't even say, it was just a dumb movie that you watch and it's fine. Like, it was for sure worth the matinee movie ticket price. Yes, maybe even a midweek nighttime movie. Like in the summer when you don't have anything to do and it's like a Wednesday night and you're just like, let's go to the movies and see Mortal Kombat. It was fine. You are crazy. Like, I can't even. There were some things that were a little bothersome, like the fact that Melina's hair was terrible. That bothered me a little bit because I felt like they spent more time on Goro's hair than they did on hers. And as the only Black woman in the movie,
that's true. She really was
a little irksome. I thought that they were really smart about. There's one thing, movie trope thing that I don't like is when you have like these little girls, women who are small, who have fighting prowess or whatever, that are able to beat up these big, huge dudes from just their skill or their strength alone, like waifu. And I really appreciated that they didn't do that necessarily with Sonya. Like, the only way she could defeat him was by being smart about strategically incapacitating him in certain ways in order to gain the advantage. Like, they never made it like she could overpower him. It was just, he was either dumb about certain things or she could like she would slice his Achilles from underneath. Like, she weakened him slowly.
Okay. But we're not going to talk about
the fight, not just I'm able to like kick his ass because I'm a badass.
We're not going to talk about Sonya and her trailer with all the like she figured it out. I was like, really?
Well, she didn't just. Her and Jax both figured it out from from whatever, for reasons. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. The movie is fine. As far as video game movies are concerned, this is literally the best video game movie I've ever seen. And I dare you, I'm hard pressed. I dare you. Tell me another video game movie that's better.
Game movie.
Doom? I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Look, you'll have no argument for me about Doom, that's for sure.
I mean, I would go so far as to say it's better than Resident Evil.
Oh, God, yeah. Like
yeah. What you talking about, Willis?
But
I mean, come on. What are we talking about?
I mean, just saying
is there a Pac-Man movie I don't know about?
Just saying you're like the best turd amongst some other turds.
This was a diamond turd in the cesspool. Like yeah. I wouldn't be mad if I went and saw this movie as a matinee and it was as dumb as it is, but it was fun. You know, they did some interesting things as far as setting up sequels. They didn't dump all the characters in there. They were strategic about it to leave it open for you know, there's a whole bunch of other characters that are potentially in the sequels. It was an interesting choice to have a regular dude as the main character, and I think they did that for I don't want to say our benefit because we know Mortal Kombat, but maybe people who are younger than us, who need to be introduced, so they have to have this character who doesn't know anything, so that we can get the information dumped into him so they can figure out what Mortal Kombat is. I appreciated that they gave us a little bit of this backstory of the rivalry between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Honestly, if I'm being for real, I wouldn't have minded if that was the whole movie, just like that whole thing. But it wasn't, so we got what we got. And it was fine. It was totally fine. You guys, don't listen to Don. It was fine.
Okay. Hey.
It's on HBO Max. You know.
Maybe it's
you
just
don't got
me.
nothing to do.
That's true. Maybe it's just me. Fine. What is fine, you make sure you subscribe. You make sure you hit that bell. Make sure. So that way you're always notified whenever we've got some more 10-minute takes coming out for some of our favorite shows and movies. Also, to make it even easier for you, just go to tcatnetwork.com where you'll find all the links, not only to our 10-minute takes, but to our podcast pages for not only TCAT, but also for Good Morning Antioch, and as well as the reading. Hey, we're going to differ on this one. That's okay.
It's okay. We disagree all the time.
It's okay. It's all right.
It was fine though.
Younger. I don't get this younger generation. That's fine. You guys just like weird things. Quite all right.
Mortal Kombat is a weird thing. I mean, like let's think back to the Mortal Kombat the game. I know some people were bitching because they spent the whole game is about a tournament and they spent the whole time not going to a tournament, but I think we've already seen that movie. And so I thought it was really smart that they had them, like they had a reason for them to fight in these other locations like they do in the game. Like, why are they fighting in a subway? Why are they fighting in, this city high-rise alley? Like, why are they fighting on a farm? I don't know. In the game, I don't know why are they fighting in the subway. But this was a really fun way to explain, or a different way to explain why they're fighting in all these interesting locations. And it felt like this. I will say this: the production design of this movie was legit. Like, as a filmmaking nerd and theater nerd, like the production design in this movie is really great. Like,
you know what? I'll say this: you came up with what should have been the Mortal Kombat tagline on the poster. Mortal Kombat. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Mortal Kombat. It doesn't matter.
You're going to go see somebody get chopped in half. Like, that's what
true.
you're there for.
That's what you're
and
there
it did
for.
not disappoint.
It did. Okay.
You want to see Jack use those arms and smash somebody's head?
Then
That's
there it is.
the movie for you.
There it is. Look at that. You got some extra on this take. Enjoy it, people.